Hey there, boys and girls. Welcome to your Edpuzzle homework tonight, dealing with explaining lesson 9.12. So just like in all of our other explaining lessons, we're going to go back into the book together, and we're going to work our way through those problems so that we really understand what's going on those pages. So if you have not done so already, please turn to lesson 9.12 in your workbooks. That's pages 352 and 353. And as we're going through this, make sure you're following along and writing things down as we go, because those clues and those problems we're doing now are really going to help you when I turn you loose to do some on your own. All right, so our learning target for tonight is I can solve measurement word problems, so a pretty easy target. We're going to go back and talk about a lot of different types of ways to measure things, and then we're going to be pulling that important information out of word problems in order to solve them. So, explaining lesson 9.12, at the top of our page there on 352, they give us a picture and they ask us what we can see. Well, when we look at this picture, we see some cups or we see some glasses. We see some containers of water. We see some things that look like muffins. And we see a bigger container of like grape juice. Okay. And also on page 352, and I made sure that I outlined this or I traced it because you need to do the same thing right now with this bluish teal box right here. This box is going to be very important for you as you move forward in the book. So make sure you have an eye on where that box is. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, though, before we do a couple problems at the bottom of this page, is I do just want to kind of think about these two problems right here in the book. So the first one here in blue says, imagine each small glass holds 8 fluid ounces. So if I kind of take one of those glasses down here and put it in my blue box, I know that that glass holds 8 fluid ounces. That's the most, or that is the capacity of that glass. That's the most I could put into it. They want to know how many small glasses could we fill with one bottle of water. Well, here's the thing though. If I'm looking at this bottle of water, I know this bottle of water holds 1 quart. But the clue they gave me about the glasses was that they hold 8 fluid ounces. So that should be a clue there that you're going to have to do some converting because they aren't in the same unit. So what I need to do is I need to figure out really how many fluid ounces are in this water bottle or in this container, because then I can start getting rid of those 8 fluid ounces when I start pouring it into my glasses. That's where my box is going to really help me. 1 quart is 32 fluid ounces. So now what I need to do is I'm going to take that water bottle and I'm going to start pouring out groups of 8. So the first group, or the first glass, I put 8 in. My second glass, I'm going to put 8 more in, and so on until I don't have any more. If I'm thinking about the math that I'm doing here, I'm really taking those 32 fluid ounces and I'm dividing them, or I'm breaking them into groups of 8, because I'm putting 8 fluid ounces into every group. So what would 32 divided by 8 be? Yeah, very good. 32 divided by 8 is going to get me 4, because I know the turnaround for this, or the opposite type of math than division, would be multiplication. And I know 4 times 8 would be 32. So that means I could have poured 2 more glasses, and I would have 4 glasses altogether. Nice job. Now, my next question here talks about a muffin, and it says each muffin weighs about 7 ounces. So again, if I take each muffin down here, and I know that each one weighs about 7 ounces, they want to know how much the whole plate of muffins is going to be. They want to know the total mass. Well, I know there's 5 muffins up there, or 5 groups, and each group they told me was 7 ounces. So really, my math that I'm doing here is 5 muffins, or 5 groups of 7. What would 5 times 7 be? Yeah, very good. 5 times 7 is going to be 35. But now here's that second part of the question. It says, is the total mass greater or less than 2 pounds? Well, I know that this is 35 ounces. When I look up here, they're talking about pounds, so I'm going to have to figure out how many ounces would be in those 2 pounds. Well, I know 1 pound is 16 ounces. So 2 pounds would be, yeah, very good. 2 pounds would be 32 ounces. Are my 5 muffins more than 32 ounces? Yeah, they're greater. They're 35. So I know that my 5 muffins would be more than 2 pounds. Nice job. All right. And as we look down to the bottom of page 352, these are the two problems I'm going to work through with you. Now notice I brought that box down here with me because it is still going to be very important for us down here, just like it's going to be important for you on the next page. So problem A says, bottled water is sold in packs of 6. So I know that each pack has 6 water bottles in it. They also tell me that each bottle holds 17 fluid ounces. So if I'm thinking of my picture, I'm thinking of my model, I know that each bottle is going to have 17 in it. They want to know how much water is in not one pack, but 2 packs. So I've got to go through and figure out how much water that would be with all of these. And like we said, we could go through and do repeated addition and just add all these together. Or let's break this back into the shortcut, which would be multiplication. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I want to figure out what 1 pack's going to be. So 6 groups of 17 is the first thing I'm going to do. And then once I know that, then I could really just double it, couldn't I? So the first thing I need to do is 6 times 17. Well, I'm going to think of 6 times 10 and 6 times 7. And I know that 6 times 10 is 60. And I know that 6 times 7 is 42. So if I combine those parts together, I know the answer is going to be 102. So 1 pack of water has 102 fluid ounces, but they want to know 2 packs. So now what I have to do is I have to double the answer that I got before. What would 102 times 2 be? Very good. 102 times 2 is going to be 204. So you know that in 2 packs of water, there's going to be 204 fluid ounces. And again, all I really did was I came up with models or pictures to help me, and then I also kind of put those equations to match my thinking. If I come over here to B, B says Mika buys 1 pound of cheese. So I know that Mika is going to buy, 1 pound of cheese. He cuts the cheese into 4 equal pieces. So I know that he takes that cheese that he had and he breaks it or he divides it into 4 equal pieces. And then I know he's going to eat one of them. They want to know how much cheese is left. Well, here's the thing also. Down here, I kind of highlighted it for you. Their final answer is in ounces. They told you that he bought a pound of cheese. So I'm going to have to do some converting because those are different labels, different units. So I got to come back up here to my box. I know that 1 pound is worth 16. So instead of trying to do 1 pound broken into 4 equal pieces or divided into 4 groups, I'm going to convert that into the 16 ounces because now I can go through and do this a lot easier. What is 16 divided by 4? Yeah, 16 divided by 4 is 4. So you know that each piece of that pound or each piece of that 16 ounces is going to be worth 4. Now, here's where that last part comes in, though, because that's not what the question's asking. The question's not asking how much is each piece worth. It's asking how much is left after Mika eats one of those pieces. So really, he had 16 to start, but he got rid of one piece that was worth 4. So there I'm going to be doing some subtracting, and I know that I've got to get rid of that piece of 4 that Mika ate. What would 16 minus 4 be? Yeah, very good. And you know that there's going to be 12 ounces of cheese left. Nice job. Okay. So again, make sure you've got all that work copied down because that's going to kind of set you up for your next problems. All right. And on your own today, you're going to be working on problem 2 over here, page 353. You only have to pick 2 of these to do. So it's up to you which 2 you want to do. You could do A and B. You could do B and D. It's completely up to you. You have to pick 2. You're more than welcome to do more if you want to. Work hard on those. We'll go over those later on. Have a good night. Make smart choices.